Hello, dear adventurers, and welcome to our lead up to my computer getting fixed. So, typically on Mondays we would be playing Final Fantasy XIV. However, my computer is struggling hard and there might be permanent damage to my CPU, so until we get the new parts in, we will be playing low requirement games such as this one. So Plants vs. Zombies came out in 2009. It was one of my favorite games for quite a while and I very much enjoy it. So I am looking forward to getting to play it and play it with you guys. I hope you also enjoy it as much as I do. I know this is a bit different from what we typically do, but I'm just trying to make sure that we can get the whole way through a stream without it crashing. So, music's a little bit loud on my side, but please do let me know if it does get too loud on yours. Hi, Kristen. How are you? Also, I've been having difficulty trying to get this to work on my end, so I can't full screen it, but this game is old enough that it's like 800 by 600 pixels, and so it's not even taking up half of my screen. It is terribly amusing. Let me just give you a shout out real quick. And there it is. How's Phasmophobia been? I can't watch that game. Preparing for Thanksgiving. I also love this game. Your husband has good taste. And I have not heard that in years. I'm excited. Like I said, it's been years and I'm so excited to get to play this again, but it is so small on my screen. Okay. So I started a new campaign for obvious reasons. Because I wanted to get to show you guys the game from the start, and because I haven't in forever. Faz was terrifying as usual. I think I'm gonna do Stardew on Wednesday. Stardew is incredible. I was also thinking about doing Stardew this week because right now it's the only game that has not crashed the game or stream recently, which is very frustrating. I am going to be taking advantage of the sales on Friday to do uh, some Black Friday shopping for the first time in ages. I don't really do it because I don't enjoy it as a concept, but I really need those computer parts in order to be able to keep streaming. But yeah, have you been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, or are you going to be starting a new save for stream? And also, do you use mods? Very important. Because there's some really good ones. Uh-oh. I need 2 more sun. There we go. Having to get back in the swing of playing this game. Like, it's so interesting how some of these things come so naturally, just immediately come to mind and are just the way I remember them being, and I almost have a muscle memory for some of these things. And others, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. If you wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, this is probably like the first and maybe only zombie related game that I'll play on stream because I am a wuss. I would never be able to play Phasmophobia. I commend anyone who can because I can't. But yeah, the theming in this one is just so funny to me. Like, you just have these mutant plants that you use to take on these zombies, and if they manage to get to your house, you have these lawnmowers that just mow them right over. It's just very silly and I enjoy it. Speaking of yards, I just found out that the playground that they put in right below my apartment window, it looks like after they finish putting this up, even though they haven't filled over the bare soil or anything yet, they've already torn down all of the other playgrounds in our apartment complex. And in their place put like a storage shed. I don't know whose idea that was, but I think it's ridiculous, and also that I am going to have a lot of small children outside my apartment screaming very loudly. I like kids in theory, but in practicality, I have concerns. Mostly because I have a lot of audio sensitivities. Auditory sensitivities. So it'll be something to get used to, and hopefully our stream time will be enough during school hours that we won't have a whole lot of kids out at that time. I'm also concerned because, like, why would they tear out the rest of the playgrounds? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Then again, I'm not the one making this decision, so... I said it before, but I forgot just how delightful this game was. Since we're already here, let's just, we win! And now we have a potato. So the theming on this game is one of the reasons I like it so much. The seed packets are from Bloom and Doom Seed Company, and all of the plants have alternative names. That's right, this is not a potato, it is a walnut, because it blocks off zombies. So it just kind of follows in line with everything else that I play that all seems to have puns. For not being the most puntastic individual, I seem to just gravitate towards these games. Also of note, I, along with what seems to be almost every single one of the people that I follow on Twitter, have made a Hive account. I made mine at like 10 o'clock last night as I was going to bed early because I had a chiropractic appointment this morning. But I am also Aerietta on there if anyone else is getting Hive. I've enjoyed it so far. It's a lot of just, you know, that kind of experience where it's another one of those apps that really reads like Twitter but posts like Tumblr. I'm looking forward to them getting more accessibility features though, such as alt text and things like that. I also wasn't able to find out how to link profiles, so I can't add it to my link directory yet. I can only just tell you what the username is. But it's very interesting. It does look as though co-host hasn't gone through and activated accounts today, which is another social media platform that I've been looking into. But it could be that they just took the week off for the American holiday. I do know that they are located in the US. I am looking forward to getting to see that as well, because even though I am enjoying working with Hive, I've only been on the app for not even 24 hours. It's just that it's much more progressed as an app, but it looks like co-host is more progressed as a like functioning networking tool. Oh, no worries. I don't expect people to just hang off my every word. Yeah. Also, this is the week for random phone calls. Everyone's trying to get in touch because they all remember that the holidays are coming faster than they expected. My phone number got handed out to various people without me knowing, so now I have people texting me knitting questions, which is always odd. I mean, it's not odd that the questions they would ask me are knitting related, but it is odd to have people say, hey, so I gave out your number, and it's just like, why? Why would you do that? Yeah, that's right, a shovel lets you dig up a plant to make room for another plant. Very important, because then they start doing this kind of thing. Oh, this guy! Oh my god. Greetings, neighbor. My name is Dave. We aren't going to use that word. I try not to use ableist language in my streams, so we're gonna skip on over that. But you can just call me Dave. Listen, I've got a surprise for you. But first, I'll need you to clear your lawn. Use your shovel and dig those plants up. Let the digging commence! I don't want to dig up my defenses. Oh goody, now for the surprise. We're going bowling. Here, take this walnut. Why'd I put a walnut in your hand? Because I'm Dave. Now go, bowl me a winner. I do also very much love the mini games that are part of this. The bowling is quite fun, especially if you can get it to take out more than one zombie at a time, like that. Yeah, but we also have the surprise of an extra guest that I wasn't expecting at Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I wasn't really planning on doing Thanksgiving to begin with, but my parents wanted to hang out for Thanksgiving and I was going to oblige, so. But we have more guests than originally planned for, so now I am figuring out how to change my recipes, because I don't cook a whole lot to begin with, just because cooking's not my favorite. So the recipes I do have are usually pretty specific on the number of people, and 2 doesn't multiply into 5 easily. I'll make it work though. I also have some very yummy pumpkin pie that I will be making. That has to be allergy friendly for a number of different allergies. Luckily, I have a good recipe for that. Oh, this one's a good one, yes. Thank you. I like the ones that explode. This one's the potato, that's right. The potato mine. Explodes on contact. These ones. See, it's all starting to come back to me, and it's very funny. Try to get as many sunflowers on here as quickly as possible. Just the little different ways that they say braids. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I have mixed feelings about Thanksgiving as a whole, just because of historical and interpersonal implications involved with it, so it's gonna be interesting having to host it, I think for the first time. I don't think I've ever hosted Thanksgiving before. But yeah, it's going to be an experience. Plus, it's going to be at my home. Yeah, Kristen says I totally understand feeling mixed about it. Yeah, it's a lot. You also have to take into consideration, like, everyone always talks about family and someone's drunken aunt saying things, or their uncle saying something really rude and concerning, and it's just like, yeah, there's that. But also, like, historical implications and the mythologies that were told. Sir... We stopped getting together with extended family and just to hang out with parents and siblings. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I am not so bothered by the extended family as I used to be. It, like, a lot of my extended family are pretty reasonable people, if a little excitable. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of like getting together for the holidays anymore. Like, it was nice, but then it became such a hassle when I moved out and moved away. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a weird one, Mr. Grinch. So, oh yay, my favorite one. I'm a big fan of the snow peas. But yeah, so like I said, it's going to be a new and interesting experience, and I'm hoping it all goes well. I'm also not cooking a turkey because hell no. I am not going big. I am making 90% of the part of the meal that I'm making, and I did insist on delegating. 90% of it's going to be made in the Instant Pot. And Kristen says, yes, I completely understand. With our family, there used to be 5 or 6 different family dinners. Oh, gotta throw that down. We were expected to go to. When you have kids, especially, it becomes too stressful. Yeah. Yeah. Growing older and having all of the family expectations is just real weird. Like, the expectations were typically weird to begin with. However, now that you're older, and especially if your family has gotten into various arguments at any point in time, and some of them aren't talking to each other, it makes it very difficult to be a neutral party. I miss being allowed to be a neutral party. Except with my uncle. Like, I don't think anyone misses that part of the equation. I wish there was a way to simplify it and de-stress the holiday season. Yeah, me too. The way that I have chosen to do so is that I don't do Christmas anymore. Regardless of who in the family it is, it's just like, look, you all made it so damn complicated. I'm going into the woods, and I'll see you sometime in the new year. I wish that were the case. We might not be able to actually go and make that a possibility, but the goal is so that we can start going camping instead of doing the Christmas season. Because it's not even like it's really a religious thing for my family. It's just tradition. Yes, oof, that is so hard. That sounds great. Yeah, especially after last year. Last year was a bit of a nightmare. My partner's parents insisted that our Christmas was going to be terrible because we weren't visiting anybody. So, on a weeknight, his dad came up and basically made a scene about making sure that we had gifts and food and stuff, and it was all food that I couldn't even eat because I was allergic to most of it. It was bizarre, but after that, my partner and I basically decided, you know what, we can just skip this. We don't need this to be part of our year. We can make our own traditions. Yeah, you can be happy on your own, absolutely. And we can be happy in a way that is different from the way that is expected of us. For my partner and I, it's more important, and because of his job and the scheduling around it, because he does work in a warehouse, which means that it can get kind of complicated in regards to holidays. But like, we're pretty much fine on our own. We like each other's company, thank goodness. So it's not this big old thing. I missed. Curses! My perfectionism got in the way again. I wanted to make it in a perfect line. But yeah, the whole getting away, going camping, and ignoring relatives just sounds like a real good idea. But it also means that we would need to actually make time to have off during that part of the year, which can be very difficult, especially if you have a demanding job such as working in a warehouse like my partner does. I feel that crowds, dinners, parties give me anxiety. I mostly do it to appease people. Exactly. I do care about my extended family, but it's all too much to see them in in a large gathering. It's a very big family. Yeah, absolutely. I totally understand that and have been there. I'm not really good at being a people pleaser anyway. I'm very much a people placater in many circumstances because I have to be, but I would prefer not to if I didn't have to, you know? What really kind of stuck out to me, my partner had friends over to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we were talking to them, and I was whining because I'm a whiner at times. And I was talking about how I wasn't looking forward to going to a family gathering just because it wasn't what I really wanted to do, and I didn't want to deal with the people who were going to be no, I'm gonna put them in the order I want them. Okay. And I didn't want to deal with the implications of the family gathering, and I didn't want to deal with having to answer a lot of questions because one side, actually, that's not true. Both sides of my family are very much in the realm of, oh, what do you do? And it's like if you mention something that isn't a job, or if you don't mention the right kind of job according to them, or one that isn't making enough money, or what have you, it gets real awkward real fast. So I was just like, I don't really want to deal with this. I've been having a major depressive year, and it's just not something I want to put up with right now. And he's like, then don't go. And I'm just like, what do you mean by that? He's just like, you don't have to be there. You have a choice not to go. And I'm just like, what? It was just such a foreign concept to me. It was entirely outside of the realm of what my brain was going to latch onto, and it just blew my mind. And it's almost embarrassing how the thought did not occur to me at all until that point. And yes, Dungeons and Dragons is amazing. I really enjoy it. We're getting more into Dungeons and Dragons. Typically we play Pathfinder, which is a spin-off of 3.5E. So, yeah. To be totally random and just like roll with it. I wish families were more accepting of a personal need over tradition. Exactly. And there is a place for tradition, but there's also a place for people's needs. But yeah, that's also part of the reason why this year has been big for me in terms of kind of making my own traditions. It's been a lot of introspection and being like, okay, what actually matters to me? What do I find important enough to keep? And what do, like, if I don't keep something, do I need to replace it with something else, or can I just be? So yeah, that's been a big part of my year. Because that was also one of the things that I was trying to decide was if I am going to decide that a tradition isn't for me or something like that, and I don't feel the need to replace it, like, how is that going to look? So, like, one of the things that I was thinking is just like, do I even want to do a Christmas? Do I even want to do a winter holiday? And it's just like, well, I kind of want to mark that part of the year off, and we are so surrounded and inundated with these things that it's not necessarily that I don't want to have that opportunity so much as I don't want to let it consume the joy that I would otherwise derive from that time of year. It can be an incredibly hard place to be. It can make you feel unstable and insecure. It absolutely can. Absolutely. So yeah, challenging norms. It is what I do just by existing as I am. All right, so at a later point, you are able to immediately replace plants that you've already put down with other more strong versions of those plants. So I think I'm going to stick to the scheme I had. Maybe do 2 rows of the sunflowers. Yeah, sometimes it's just really important to kind of sit with why you're feeling unstable and insecure, because the answer will often surprise you. But we are so frequently taught, like, hey, you don't want to sit with that. You don't want to know, you don't want to think on it, you don't want to have that be part of your narrative because it's not fully a positive one. And I don't think that's true. I think it's important, but it is so hard because it is something that we very much are taught is not okay. It's how you discovered your neurodivergency. Yes. I've known more or less that I was neurodivergent for most of my life, but I didn't fully understand what that meant until much later because everyone was so like, oh, this is a negative, and it's just like, does it have to be? I'm not sure that it has to be. So, growing up and then finding out more about ADHD and autism in that order, which is surprising because I thought that I was only autistic and not both. And then recently it's just like, oh yeah, shit. Women are also pressured heavily to mask. Absolutely. Like, even as kids, we are much more pressured to mask. And, like, that's also true of pretty much everyone that is not a cisgendered white male. Like, we are coming into an understanding that that's not the default and it's taking a while to get there. But I have seen so many people talking about how not being white, not being cisgendered, not being straight, just being anything that wasn't cisgendered white male was enough to make it so that they had to mask harder than their other neurodiverse peers, because otherwise they would get in more trouble. And it's just like, if you're already neurodivergent, you are more likely to deal with rejection, you're more likely to deal with all sorts of things. The rejection, the getting in trouble, already struggling to understand because your brain already works differently. And then you add any sort of diversity on top of that, and it's a lot. And depression, yeah. Depression also. And a lot of people who are neurodivergent also develop depression and anxiety and PTSD later because of how they are forced to interact and forced to mask. And I'll just let them get themselves blown up. It's fine. But yeah, it was also just such a wonderful and freeing thing to really understand how and why my brain works different, other than, oh, you're just a weirdo. Which, not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just there's more to it than that. Being able to kind of figure out better ways to work with it has been so wonderful. There's still a long way to go because there's still a lot that is external that is very disabling. So it's a big matter of just making sure that I am able to find space in the spaces that already exist. But just learning that the way that my brain works isn't a bad thing. It's something that I can be comfortable with and be comfortable living as without masking. To a degree. Like I said, there are still a lot of factors in play that mean that you can't fully unmask in all situations, even from a safety perspective. But I've gotten to know myself a lot better, and it's really helped. And also getting to know people who are like me. Aerietta bot is giving us a friendly reminder to take a sip of water because hydration is an important part of every adventure. I will not be taking a sip of water. I have a hot apple cider. It has water in it. Oh, we have a note. Hello, we are about to launch an all-out attack on your house. Sincerely, the zombies. Hi, Grim Heroics, how are you today? Okay, so... we're just gonna put one there. Just finishing up some homework? Nice. I've never seen this game mode for PvZ. So this is the Game of the Year edition. And it's pretty early on in the campaign. It's just kind of a little mini game you get after a certain point. But yeah, it's not super common in the rest of the story if I remember correctly, but I could be misremembering. I forgot how good the music was for this game, too. Let's see. Sorry if I'm not talking a lot, I'm just focusing. I see Kristen ask a question. Outside of gaming, I have a lot of hobbies, an obnoxious amount of hobbies. I am currently seated next to a spinning wheel. My phone number was recently given out because I knit, and so someone wanted me to help someone else by answering their knitting questions. Okay. I should probably save the cherry bombs for the next wave. Thank you for the follow, Dr. Nefariously Handsome. I do see that Twitch did give you an auto mod, so I'm going to check that now that we're in between rounds. But thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so you had said the PvZ story is a long, deep, conflicted story filled with heavy lore, political drama, violence, sex, drugs, and even the first ever gay couple according to Disney. I mean, it's got a lot of those, that's for sure. Kristen said, nice, knitting is so fun and hard, I'm not very good at it. I've been knitting for, oh geez, 20 years now. It's hard to believe, but I'm going to just put this in chat. All right, so I've just thrown up in chat the pronouns check. So if you have any name that you would prefer to go by, prefer to have me call you, and just so that I can know your pronouns so I can refer to you correctly, please let me know. I am Aerietta. I also go by Airy, and my pronouns are she, her. So I just want to make sure that I'm referring to everyone correctly with the name that they would like to be called. The tentative tea lover is Kristen, she, her. That's right, it's nighttime. Evening, Aerietta. Those zombies just won't let up, will they? You'll notice that fighting zombies at night is different than in the day. For one, you won't get any sun falling from the sky. You can still get sun from sunflowers, though. And lucky for you, you've got yourself some puff shrooms. Plant as many of those as you can, and you'll be A-O good. Thank you, Dave. These guys are funny. The ones that just have their upside-down newspapers and just get real angry. Okay. So those are probably good to have. I definitely want these. Yeah, shoot short-range spores at enemies, and they're not the most effective. So I think I'm also going to have some snow peas just for the back. Oh, that's right, and now there are also... How very rude of them. Please, more sunlight! There we are. We now have a second sunflower. Very important. just gonna put that one there, and this can go here. No. Uh-oh. I may have bitten off more than I can chew. Okay. Oh, money. I forgot about the money aspect of the game. See, they get so mad. It's just like relatable. The problem is they chew things very quickly. Where should I put this? Here is good. A huge wave of zombies? I don't know if I can take a huge wave of zombies. Oh, that's right. The zombies will come out of the graves that suddenly got planted in my yard. How they even got there, I'll never know. Okay, so we have a sun shroom. Gives small amount of sunlight to start, and then larger ones. Hey, you've collected $270 in coins so far. When you collect 750, I'll sell you something really neato. Good to know. Okay, so we definitely need both of these. We'll grab one of those Do we need that? I remember these night levels being really difficult without a sufficient amount of sunlight. Let's see if we can get away with this. As ridiculous as it looks. No, no more headstones. I'm just gonna start putting them down. Wherever they'll go. Hopefully that'll help me get through them faster. This game requires a lot more focus than I remember. Have you tried the new Pokemon game yet? No, I have not. I've heard really, really mixed reviews. I do eventually want to play it, but it sounds like it's really buggy. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes games are buggy. That's fine. And everyone seems to be having a lot of fun despite all the bugs, but I'm also concerned. I also am like the premise of why I'm playing a lot of these lower game requirement, or rather lower PC requirement games, is because I need to buy new computer parts to replace the ones that are broken and bad. A lot of these computer parts have been needing to be replaced for a while, but I am going to be dropping quite a stack of cash on Friday. So, in the budget for the future. Have you had the chance to try it yet? I've seen a lot of people have been playing it lately, and again, it looks fun. It definitely looks and feels like a totally different game, which is something that I've been wanting from a Pokemon game. Like, I didn't play Arceus. I heard good things, but it just wasn't something that was really on my radar, so I haven't played any of the Pokemon Switch games. So when I was seeing other people playing Scarlet and Violet, it's just like, oh, this is super different. Like, it's a Pokemon game. You can't get past that. But it also feels like a new game instead of just kind of going off the same strict format that Pokemon games have had since Red and Blue. I'm really looking forward to that. Kristen says I haven't. I grew up on Pokemon and I hesitate with some of the newer options, or newer versions. I've played some newer versions but the games don't capture me the same way. Exactly. That's kind of what I was... that's kind of why I didn't really pay much attention to Arceus coming out. Because, like, a lot of the newer games just hadn't captured me. Like, Pokemon Crystal, which was the combined version of Silver and Gold, was my absolute favorite. And yeah, there just hadn't really been anything that had compared to that new Pokemon game feeling that I had way back when. Like, I've never really been about that whole, like, oh, the originals were the best, you can't beat to the first 150, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, that's kind of disingenuous and really doesn't feel like an argument, except that you're trying real hard to be cool because I liked it before it was cool. And so, for me, it's very much been that a lot of the newer games haven't really captured that feeling. Like, they had it really good with a lot of the earlier versions that you had these Pokemon that you were training and it felt new, and the new Pokemon weren't so overwhelming because you didn't have like 500 other ones that you had to know about. So it kind of feels like they got lost in the sauce and are finally getting back to their roots of, okay, we're making a new Pokemon as a new Pokemon instead of just more of the same thing. Kristen said Crystal was so good. I liked Yellow and Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah, all good games. Pokemon was definitely like my thing as a kid. It was the first video games outside of like educational PC games that you found on a floppy disk that really made me want to play. And I was so excited that I got the chance to play them. Kristen says, I don't mind them adding new Pokemon, but the recent ones have been very cutesy, which is fine for some, but they all seem to be designed the same way. Yeah, that's another thing. It's just like, if you're going to make a big deal about having all of these Pokemon, like, have a little bit more variety. And I don't know how I feel about the motorcycle Pokemon. Again, I'm trying real hard not to sound like just an old grumbly person, because that's not what I'm trying to get at. It seems very far-fetched and not like the duck. These ones are Angie. Are you done? Are you done? I have more than enough sunlight. I'm just waiting to be able to blow you up. You lost your hat. You really can't go on without it, sir. Thank you. Shoots fumes that can pass through screen doors. Also, I do apologize if my bot is being kind of spammy today. Not my intention, it's just... Yeah, I'm just... At this point, I'm just trying to make sure that I have those things going on while I am focusing on a much more focus-driven game. So I will probably be changing out the speed of my bot timers at some point in the near future. You haven't figured out bots yet? I really enjoy them. I really like having my bots. It does make it quite a bit easier to manage since I don't yet have moderators. Not that I don't plan on getting moderators, but having bots around makes it a little bit easier. It also reminds me to stay hydrated, which is a thing that I am very prone to forgetting. No, go away. But I would recommend looking up how to use bots because they are very helpful. Stream Scheme and Hey Shady Lady both have YouTube videos that I have found very helpful. But the moderators help with when there is an auto mod. So, for example, one of the messages earlier was held by Twitch and the Twitch auto moderation settings, and it took me a minute to get to it. Whereas if I had a human moderator, I would have someone else to assist and be able to process those moderations faster. It also helps to have moderators to help you with things like if you do end up getting a bot, you can have your moderators put in the commands for things like if I were trying to direct people to my Discord because that's something that I was talking about, I could, instead of having to pause the game, type it in myself, and to then get back to the game, a moderator would be able to handle some of that as well. Okay, so this is the final wave, and it's going pretty quickly, so we should be fine. It is very hard for me to believe that an hour has already passed. I don't believe it. Yes, Gravebusters, finally. Hey, want to buy an extra seed slot? Yeah. It'll cost you $750, but you'll be able to choose 7 seeds per level instead of 6. How's that sound? Absolutely. Alright, and hey, when you save up to $5,000, I'll sell you the 8 seed slot upgrade. Check you later. Thank you, Dave. Okay, so we want this. Yeah, the walnuts are good. Important to have something to blow up. And some potato mines. We'll keep it simple. Of course it came on the one that did not have a mushroom on it already. And again. We'll put that there because it'll go to that one if I don't. Okay. Please discontinue, sir. Excuse you? Leave my yellow mushrooms alone, please, thank you. Please stop that. Hello? No, thank you. accidentally clicked off of the screen. It is a very small and little window, so it's not too unpredicted. Okay, so let's put one here. You can go there. Speaking of the bots and hydration, Aerietta bot is giving us a friendly reminder to stay hydrated. That's a good place for it, sure. Please desist, sir. Let's put that there. I think there is a much more obvious to me reason why this game wasn't so easy the first time around, and it definitely has to do with the fact that it's bothering me that none of these rows are even. Kristen says my sister's a nurse and she would often shout at us, hydrate or die. I mean, it is the option you are facing, it's just not always obvious. I would like to be better about remembering to stay hydrated, but I have that robot telling me what to do for a reason. Alright, I am getting far too comfy in my chair. Time to stretch. Okay. So one of the things that I might do while we are waiting for my computer to be capable of playing our usual games is doing an art stream where I finally finish illustrating that avatar of my cat that we were supposed to get after 40 followers. A lot of life has gotten in the way, so maybe just having dedicated time during stream would be a good way to get that finished up. You found a suburban almanac. Keeps track of all the plants and zombies you encounter. Yeah, so that's a pea shooter, sunflower, cherry bomb, walnut, potato mine, snow pea, chomper, repeater, puff shroom, sun shroom, fume shroom, and grave buster. Oops, didn't go back and see the zombies. Ever play a game called Whack-A-Zombie? Yes I have. It is my favorite minigame. It's just like hunting squirbows. You know, those furry little rodents that dig holes in your lawn? Yeah, just like that, but instead of squirbows, it's zombies. And instead of a shovel, it's a mallet. And instead of me, it's you. So yes, as I said, this is my favorite minigame. I don't know what that says about me. But I was very good at it. I owned this game on my laptop, and my laptop had a tablet screen on it because I was an art major. And so I was fortunate enough to have people who, when getting me my high school graduation gift, saw that there were tablet screen laptops and said yes. So I would be playing this game on my laptop because it had not yet come out on any sort of touchscreen device. And I was just tapping it violently, which is probably why my laptop screen eventually folded backwards in a way that it wasn't supposed to. And I have to go run errands, but I hope the rest of your stream goes well. Thank you very much, Kristen. I hope you have a good time on your errands and that the rest of your day is enjoyable. What do you mean I can't plant on graves? Clicking the wrong plant doesn't mean I can't plant on graves, it's just that I can't plant those things on graves. I don't like that some of them get faster though. Oh yay, the psychedelic mushrooms. Yeah, the hypno shroom makes a zombie fight for you. Alright, so we need our sun shroom, our little 0-pointer, the fume shroom, grave buster, hypno shroom, walnut, and potato mine. That should work. Oh no, the football players! The football players! I am sorry to say that I was one of those little annoying emo kids who thought it was cool to bash on the sports people. Obviously not something I continued with into adulthood, but yeah, I thought I was such hot shit for being like, sports. And thinking myself an intellectual for not being involved in such things. I am glad that I grew out of that eventually, but damn do I wish it didn't take so long. I would have liked to know sooner that I was being a dick. Alas, I was but a child who did not know better. Hi, Seki. Oh no, here comes the football player. They are quite an obstacle in this game, however. No? Nothing stopping him. Yeah. Run the opposite direction, please, thank you. I ran up and down the stairs 3 times. Oh, you remember this game around years ago? Yeah. I am a big fan of Plants vs. Zombies. I played so much of it. And then I started going to Big College, and Big College was not a good place to be if you wanted to play video games. At least not for me. Big College was hard. Oh, I should probably start busting some of these graves. Alright, it is almost finished. I saw it around, but I never played, so this is totally new material for me. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy it, Seki. This was one of my favorite games for a very long time. This is what I would play when I got bored of World of Warcraft. So if World of Warcraft wasn't doing it for me, I played this instead. Scaredy Shroom. Long-range shooter. Highly necessary. Okay, so we need that one. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And... yeah, let's just put the potato mine in there. Nostalgia moment of my Dwarf Paladin and no more luck. I played Draenei everything. I mean, I did try out the other races at different points, but I really liked the Draenei. My very first character was a Draenei mage, and pretty much all of the rest of my characters ended up being Draenei for forever. Seki says I tried playing a taller race, but I kept going, why am I not running? You were running. It's just that your legs weren't so short, so you didn't go noom. excuse you. My giant tauren could not outrun this baby boar and died. I was concerned. And again, I am sorry if my bots are being a little bit spammy. I need to reorganize those timers. Let's put that one there. More sunlight, please. Thank you. This is just a little too real. I'm sitting there just like, I need more sun. Which, you know, vitamin D, very important. Alright, I have my 2 rows of sun-producing plants, so I should be able to start up really getting the graves dealt with. Oh goodness, okay. Oh, Seki, I don't think you were here earlier when I mentioned it, but I found out that after the current playground right near my apartment, right under my window, went up, they tore down the rest of them for the whole apartment complex and replaced them with storage buildings. I'm very displeased. Seki says I have to go to bed at a regular hour to wake up early. Oh no! Yeah, you do. Again, congratulations on the new job. I'm sorry for your schedule having to be so much more strict. Yeah, they built a new playground, tore down the old ones, and replaced them. And not with playgrounds, but with storage sheds, yeah. Alright, we have an ice shroom. Temporarily immobilizes all zombies on the screen. Very helpful. Oh, the disco one. Goodness. I guess this is the Game of the Year version, but in the original non-Game of the Year version, I think it was, they actually had it as Michael Jackson instead of just some random zombie as the disco zombie. Well, it won't normally be so early. It's just a temp job. Yeah. And yeah, we'll just do entirely mushrooms for this one. See how it goes. So this whole time I have had my task manager open while playing just to double check to make sure that we are not capping out, and it looks like OBS is still taking up a ridiculous amount of my CPU, which is very frustrating to me. But this game seems to be enough under that as far as the requirements that I'm not having any issues. So we'll be able to keep playing this and get through the story. Which I am looking forward to. But yeah, I need to figure out why OBS has suddenly decided that it needs to jump between such high amounts of my CPU. That is very concerning. No, not you. No. Cease and desist. No dance. No dancing. No dancing. Seki says, I always found it so fascinating how the spores work for certain plants, fungi, like ferns. Yeah. I like fungus in a general sense. Like, obviously I don't like it when it creates difficulties for my personal plants. But I do find them fascinating. I think OBS by default probably takes a number of resources by default to run regardless of what's streamed. It does, but not 20% of my CPU. Like, OBS is very lightweight as a program in general, which is why I switched to OBS from Streamlabs, is because it takes up so much less of the resources. So the fact that it's taking up so much, especially right after an update, is very concerning to me. Late spring, we get mushrooms in the yard and they're great. I like them. But I also agree, when they start growing or messing up my garden or trees, I'm not all for it. Yeah. No! Why are there so many headstones? Hopefully with playing it more again, it won't require so incredibly much of my brain to focus on the game. Because I know I'm getting a little bit slow at reading chat. I also find it very interesting how the mushrooms in this game work, specifically because they are designed to work differently than the other plants. For example, these long-range mushrooms, if you get too close to them, they get really shy and hide and stop shooting. It's quite alright. I feel like my head was thrown in the washing machine after 6 hours of training videos. That does sound like a lot. That does sound like a lot. Hopefully it wasn't awful. Like, some training videos are much worse than others, and that's just a given. But yeah, I hope the training videos weren't, like, terrible, because I've also had to deal with that. I worked for a certain orange hardware store for a while, my last semester and immediately following college, and yeah, we had to do training videos, like, every month, I think it was. Honestly, it could have been more frequently than that. I would not be surprised. But it was such a pain. And luckily it wasn't too excessively much most of the time, but it was oftentimes repeating things, so where it was just like, I know for a fact that this or that coworker is not actually going to follow this, and that people are just like taking a nap while watching because I also worked night shift. It was also very weird to see the free 3D assets that we were using in my 3D animation courses being used by a professional business for their training videos. Very bizarre. It was a mix, but any video that uses those soulless stock animated characters, and I felt my soul trying to escape my body against my will. Yeah! So the thin lady, the ridiculously thin lady, her name is Mary. That's the name of the model, M-E-R-Y. If it's the one they're using, that would be the one. And yeah, it's like, I've seen my classmates do incredible things with that model and animate her in wonderful ways. However, these were monthly training videos that needed to be pumped out pretty quickly by people who weren't being paid enough. So not likely. Not at all likely. The even less animated 2D ones. Oh, okay. No. No dance. No dance. Another note! Hello, we would like to visit for a midnight snack. How does ice cream and brains sound? Sincerely, the zombies. Saki says, but yes, I think I finished them forever so I don't have to think about anything for Thanksgiving. I can just relax and go into turkey-induced food comas. Here's hoping. I forgot what the Doom Shroom does. I think it just explodes. Well... Oh, it created a crater. How lovely. I forgot about that part. Can't I do that? No, I can't. Okay. I'm gonna throw that there. Okay, so we're just going to put these in various places to ensure that no zombie gets too far. Like you, you're not allowed to get very far. Oh good. You trampled the hole, so it's going away. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it so that that one gets pummeled a little bit further. Excellent. We are making progress. All right. Freeze it momentarily. Again, sorry I'm not talking much, just thinking about strategies. Did I mention that the music is really good? Because I really am enjoying it. It's very well done. Okay. Yeah, you all go away. No, not you. It's a bit hard to hear the game audio, but I know hitting the balance can be tough. Yeah, especially with this one, it is very loud, typically. So, it might just be that it looks a lot more loud on my end of things than it actually is. But, it looked like it was overtaking my audio substantially. So I might need to fix that balance in a second. Because, yeah, it does show you a certain amount of sound levels, and this one is, the game is about halfway through the green, and I try to keep my volume in the yellow, but that does mean that, it should have the music at just lower than the sound of my voice, but that's not necessarily true. So we just got a lily pad, so I'll up the volume and see if that helps. And it also doesn't help that in order to change the volume, I have to change screens, which mutes the audio completely. Uh-oh. We are at 100% CPU usage. Okay, it's dropping. I don't know what that program is, but it's making me nervous. Okay. It's steadily dropping back down. So we should be fine, but I'm glad that we're nearing the end of stream. Oh, that's right, this is the pool level. So probably after the pool level, just because CPU did cap out, I'm going to be raiding into another streamer and ending stream. So after this level, most likely. Looks like the zombies gave up attacking your front yard. Now they're trying your backyard. And on top of it all, you can't even use your mushrooms. When in doubt, type program names in Google and to see, and somehow it's related to Windows 90% of the time in my experience. Absolutely. The problem is that you can't end Windows processes without potentially damaging your computer, and I can't problem solve this while live. Because they'll fall asleep during the day. Well, isn't that just dandy? Okay, so we need the lily pad regardless. We need that. Snow pea and repeater. Let's make sure we can blow things up. Yeah, that's a good spread. Okay. I am very glad that I am getting an improved CPU though. Counting down to that better system. But I'm also going to be double checking my OBS settings because OBS shouldn't be having that much CPU usage regardless. It's a very lightweight program by most standards. And it looks like Firefox is doing quite a bit of it. I switched away from using Chrome because Chrome was using up way too much, but since doing that, Firefox is giving me all sorts of issues, so maybe Firefox is just as big of a problem. I wonder if it has something potentially to do with your RAM. Maybe it's filling up over the usage time. Well, that's the thing. My CPU is maxing out. Memory is around 50%. Like, these are all parts of my computer that are going to be replaced. I just need to wait for those parts to come in, and it's going to take a bit. So I'm going to have a new CPU cooler, new RAM, new motherboard. The only thing that I'm not getting new pretty much is my GPU because mine is relatively new. How about you stop there? I just put a potato on a leaf in the water and for some reason that's gonna work. But it's close to 7. Anyway, I think so using an easier game was a success. Yes. So we didn't start running into higher issues for computer processing until almost the end of stream. So far, successful experiment. Still needs some tweaking, but we should be able to keep on streaming while we wait for the parts to come in. And I think these are all of the different styles of levels for the primary story, not including the ones that you get as mini games. So we managed to get pretty far. Hey, and we got the squash. All right, so like I said, we're gonna cut it here. Thank you everyone for coming to a very different type of stream than we normally have. Thank you, Dr. Nefariously Handsome, for the follow. I appreciate it. We are 3 followers away from affiliate. I know affiliate is at 50, but I have a custom named bot, so it's 51 for me because the bots only count in viewer facing places. And I found out that my just chatting screen is way too much processing power, unfortunately. So, yeah, uh, you can find me on various social media at the links that are now in chat. Specifically, it's my link directory on Beacons. It will take you to updates on Twitter. I am now on Hive. I am at Aerietta on Hive, but as far as I'm aware, they do not have links to profiles yet. I also have an Instagram, and there are links there for that. You can join our community Discord where we have conversations about a variety of things, including potential games coming up while we are waiting for those computer parts to come in. VODs are on YouTube, and tipping and gifting are on Ko-fi and Throne. Ko-fi is where you can help pay for the parts if you are so inclined. No pressure, it's never a requirement. So let us see who is on. Doesn't look like any of our usual pals are online. So we were talking about Pokemon earlier in the game, so I think we're gonna head over and visit Salami Meats again. Uh, if I remember correctly, Salami Meats uses any pronouns, but they, them are some of them. So if you would like to join us for the raid, it helps me as well as Meats. Here is a message for you to copy. And let's head on over to visit them. I'll stick around for the raid, then no close-up shop, thank you. Of course, thanks for sticking around, Seki. I hope that you are able to get a restful night's sleep so that you are fresh for tomorrow morning. All right. And yeah, again, thank you all so much, and I will be back on Wednesday at the usual time to continue with Plants vs. Zombies. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you over in Meets' chat. Bye, everybody.